10 Super Bowls. Here's a look inside the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. Here's the rookie from Arkansas, Cam Little, ready to get us started. And we are underway from the Superdome. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Right to the air is Carr. Little short pass here to Hill. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Carr now to throw. Tries the left side and finds Olave. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Carr going to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
And that's one where if you get your hands on it, you should expect to make the play. That could have gone for big yardage, but he just couldn't get it to stick to those big mitts.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. There's a short one caught by Johnson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 45-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Now Carr again. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on 3rd down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Throwing now is Carr. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Now Lawrence. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play with one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
This one complete to Christian Kirk. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. Now Lawrence. And that one to the right side and incomplete. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And this is going to be incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Doug Peterson going to roll the dice here. They will go for it on 4th down. And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. So the 4th down conversion has him inside the 40 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Throw left side complete. That's Washington. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. And here's a Louisiana native from the town of Jennings. It's Travis Etienne. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple. And they'll go again with Etienne. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations than 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Lawrence. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence punching it in from a yard away. And the Jaguars will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
He didn't originally want to run, but he didn't see anything in the passing game, so he scrambled, and wouldn't you know it, he scores a touchdown anyway. It's awfully nice to have a quarterback who can make things happen with his legs.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. To throw, it's Carr. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Now he's going to get it on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Joshua Hines-Allen there on the stop.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
From the 42-yard line, here's the 2nd down and 9. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mucked that down for a win in the defense's column.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 34-yard line. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Andre Cisco there on the stop.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
2nd and 9. Toss wide side. This is Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks will tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So after the field goal, back out is Griffey to send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. 11 yards for number 11.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
On 1st and 10, it's ETN. He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Lawrence will throw. A short throw to Ingram. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up a third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
This now a 3rd and 4. Here's Lawrence to throw. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go to the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
So on 4th down, here's Logan Cook to punt for Jacksonville. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
Especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now the Saints coming back out ready to go for this next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Now Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I ain't going to scan downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw is Carr. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Here's Carr to throw. He'll get it once more into the hands of Hill. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd and 5. Now Carr. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Carr. Over the middle and complete to Shaheed. And the Saints are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half. And with Lawrence's arm, they may give him a shot to let this thing rip downfield. We'll see. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll look to ETN to start things out. And that to the 30. It'll be 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
2nd and 7. ETN once more. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
But they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's Lawrence. Screenplay. Here's ETN. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll
defensively, that screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Now Carr. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be out right at the 35. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Here's Carr.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off, and try and chip someone at the second level.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now 2nd and 9.
Carr now to throw. The pass caught by Olave. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 40.
Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Throwing now is Carr.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
And he's taken down inside the 30. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Back to the ground. It's Kamara. Down to about the 22 here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter. No time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
46 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal.
Kamara is in. Touchdown, New Orleans. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
They'll turn to Kamara.
And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game. And there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside. Probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10.
The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10.
At their own 16.
He'll start with a give to Kamara. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Carr going to throw.
Complete to Olave on the out route.
And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
And they'll start on the ground. ETN.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Another tote for ETN. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. And they get 17 more on that one and another 1st down.
I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Finds his tight end Ingram. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
He targets.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Looking to throw, Lawrence.
And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives them a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Lawrence. He's got some room to operate.
And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line.
Here now, 2nd and goal. ETN is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. On 3rd and goal, Lawrence.
Got his man It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Christian Kirk on the receiving end of that touchdown pass from Trevor Lawrence. And the Jaguars have taken a fourth-quarter lead.
And touchdown, and congratulations, and zero relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part one is done, but now on the sideline, you can already see it. And this is caught. And it's a three-point game. So they make the decision. They want a three-point lead versus a two-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So time for Carr and the Saints.
Down by a field goal, a minute 54 on the clock. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10.
Now Carr. It's complete. Kamara.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Carr. He's got his target. It's Olave. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing his Carr.
That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Carr. Gets this complete to Shaheed.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Carr to throw. Room to maneuver at the 35.
And finally down at the 32-yard line.
Nice, well coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
Here's 1st and 10.
Back to throw, Carr.
Open man left side. Shaheed has it.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Here's 1st down.
To throw is Carr.
He completes it to Olave.
He takes it across for the touchdown. They've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow.
What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the 4th quarter.
And partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
So now all eyes shift to the Jags, trailing by 4, 36 seconds remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down.
Lawrence.
Nice solid game there, partner, but the clock is starting to become his enemy.
Absolutely every second right now, more and more precious as it ticks.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Here comes 2nd down. Back to throw. Lawrence.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. They've got to burn the timeout, and they do, but a costly, costly sack. And now maybe just time for one final play.
The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is 3rd down. Throwing now, Lawrence. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
He's going to let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the 4th quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from the Bayou.